Wow, it's a full-on gasoline boom now.
Russia is no longer a gas station. Massive queues at the fuel stops, fistfights over fuel, and diesel being rationed with coupons. All of this is a new reality in the richest oil-producing regions of the country. Who is behind the chaos now raging in 20 Russian regions? Russian murderers and maniacs are heading straight into politics. Over 1,600 war veterans may return from the front line and immediately take up government posts. Russians are thrilled.
We're the ones at war, haha.
These people are totally safe to entrust with running the country.
Meanwhile, Russian Belgorod is under drone and missile strikes for the 4th day in a row. How is this linked to Putin's decision to invade Ukraine? And why do Belgorod residents now top the list of Russians who dream about Russian troops leaving Ukraine?
As of now, 6 drones in the sky over Belgorod. 2 have been already shot down. The situation is extremely tense.
We'll talk about these and other breaking news from Russia right now. Please support this video with your like and comment and help our channel grow by subscribing so more people learn the truth about what's really happening in Russia. I'm Arsen Cymbaluk. Let's get into it.
No fuel at gas stations. Regular folks can't get any. Everything is rationed, only available to government workers. And the price? 82 rubles per liter.
Wow, it's a full-on gasoline boom now. Some people are simply out of fuel, totally dry.
But this isn't a boom. This is a party, just as ordered.
When everything is okay, we are bored. We want some party.
Although Vladimir Putin will probably say once again that he's been tricked.
We were ruthlessly betrayed.
We all remember what he really wanted.
It's all about economics. Yeah, now it's bad. But it's not bad.
Fuel queues have multiplied across Russia after Ukrainian sanctions hit the Russian oil industry hard. 20 regions are now facing a fuel shortage, double what it was just days ago. But the most telling part is which regions exactly are waking up to the consequences of the so-called special military operation in Ukraine. Ryazan, Nizhny Novgorod, Astrakhan, Saratov, Kalmykia and Tatarstan. People in these regions are searching for horses and learning how to walk 30 kilometers a day just to get somewhere. A real Russian Empire lovers flashback. Even more interesting, this fuel crisis is now crawling closer to Moscow. Ryazan and Nizhny Novgorod are basically suburbs. People there might soon be rushing to Moscow to get fuel. And then there are also Saratov, Astrakhan and Kazan, where people are also having parties. These were supposed to be Russia's oil capitals. Once overflowing with reserves, these cities used to be the key suppliers for the rest of the country. Now, lines, coupons, price gouging and fights at the pump. It's day number 1301 of the brilliant 3-day plan to take Kyiv. But really, what did we expect? Ukrainian sanctions are only getting sharper these days. Just last Friday night, Ukraine struck more targets than previously reported. At the oil port of Primorsk in Russia's north, 2 massive tankers, Cousteau and Chao Yun, were damaged. Fires broke out at the port's pumping station, and only after 3 days of silence, Russians claimed the operations were resumed. Just to let you know, Primorsk handles up to $100 million a day in export and import. Ukraine also hit critical pumping stations along Russian oil pipelines feeding the export ports, number 3, number 7 and so-called Andriapol station, key parts of the network feeding the Ust-Luga terminal next to St. Petersburg. Translation: Ukraine isn't just stopping Russia from refining oil, it's blocking Russians from selling it. This is what the real sanctions look like, and more are coming. Please support Ukrainian Defense Forces using the QR code on the screen or the link in the description. Over 1,600 maniacs, convicted felons and war criminals have registered as candidates for Russia's local elections, known mockingly as the Single Voting Day. The head of Russia's Central Election Commission, also known as the Circus Election Commission, Ella Pamfilova, proudly announced it. According to her, these 1,600 participants in Russia's war in Ukraine are now candidates and will, without doubt, take up important positions in regional governments and parliaments. Whew! How many surprises at once! The first biggest surprise is that Russians still have elections. Even more shocking, some people apparently still believe that winning office in Russia is based on votes and not on how many suitcases of cash you hand over to governing body of the criminal terrorist organization known as the Russian Federation. But perhaps my personal favorite is that Pamfilova says someone was desperately trying to sabotage the expression of Russians' will, and that someone was not Vladimir Putin. It's the West.
In recent years, the unhinged campaign unleashed by the West against Russia has placed us in difficult conditions. But we've learned to hold elections even in the most extreme situations. No one can scare us or lead us astray.
Seems like she's been hanging out a bit too much with the rest of the regime's hallucinators.
This isn't power. It's not democracy. It's a regime. Regime built on Western money.
Back to the numbers. Pamfilova says that 997 members of electoral commissions are also so-called war veterans. Given the average level of education and intelligence of these veterans, even Pamfilova herself might be surprised by the final vote count. Even her, experienced Circus Election Commission's head, who remembers the legendary 146% as the election result. With 1,600 correct candidates running, no doubt most of them will win. After all, the Tsar has decreed it.
Who's the elite? This is the elite, the defenders of the motherland. These people are totally safe to entrust with running the country.
So, 1,600 new deputies and governors across Russia, many of whom are either ex-cons, war criminals, or both. And they'll definitely drag along tens of thousands of assistants, cronies, and secretaries. Imagine what Russia's bureaucracy is about to look like. Imagine a citizen walking into a government office and not being liked by these guys. The boys are back, and life in so-called Russian Federation is about to get a lot more exciting. And this is what the so-called Russian world looks like on Elbrus, the highest point of Russia. The very essence of the empire's terrorist culture is here. Destroy, kill, and pretend you're creating something. The chairlift at Elbrus, once praised by propaganda outlets as reliable, has collapsed. At least 3 confirmed dead, 35 others were rescued from mid-air. This lift was one of the oldest in Russia. Back in December 2024, TASS propagandists praised its unshakable reliability during its 55th anniversary. Let's hear what its director told reporters back then.
Our lift is like an old car. Solid, stable, maybe not flashy, but always dependable. Built in Soviet times, it's only ever stopped for planned maintenance. We're proud that in 55 years, there's never been a serious accident.
A note to all Russians. Whenever propagandists praise a structure or product, write down its name and location and stay away. If they say it's good, it's probably about to fall apart in the near future. This is Russia. War is peace, freedom is slavery, and a 55-year-old frozen all year long and crumbling chairlift is solid, stable, and reliable. Local officials say the cause of the disaster was a cable slipping from its support. Weird. No one called it a planned drill this time. In plain language, the collapse was caused by corruption, neglect and utter incompetence. Now, they'll blame a mechanic and jail him for 25 or 30 years. The local emergency boss will get promoted and 15-20 billion rubles will be allocated for repairs straight into Rothenberg's and other Putin's friends' pockets.
At this very moment, there are 6 drones in the skies above Belgorod. 2 have already been shot down. It's now day 4 of what local officials are calling a massive ongoing drone assault on Belgorod and surrounding districts. Border municipalities are under repeated attacks. The situation is extremely serious.
For the 4th day in a row, the Belgorod authorities are complaining about non-stop drone strikes. Actually, to be precise, all these days they are complaining about one continuous, uninterrupted bombardment. And on day 4, the local goal-eater Vyacheslav Gladkov reported that a young woman had suffered a concussion and multiple shrapnel wounds to the chest and legs following a drone explosion. Just one sentence, and already Gladkov has managed to lie through his teeth. That woman didn't get injured by some mysterious drone that materialized out of thin air. She was injured as a direct result of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. If Russian troops weren't occupying Ukrainian land, no one in Belgorod, no one in Pskov, no one in St. Petersburg or Moscow or other parts of the dying empire would be getting injured at all. By the way, just a day earlier, local authorities announced that major shopping malls in Belgorod would remain closed for the weekend and that citizens should stay indoors. They specifically warned against parking near government buildings, which, according to the goal-eater, are being targeted more often than other buildings. And while Putin's bootlicker Gladkov whines about damaged infrastructure in Belgorod and smashed civilian cars in Belgorod, let's not forget the root cause. Russia must leave Ukraine alone. These were your updates from the so-called 3-day march on Kyiv and our regular blog Belgorod Oblast, the Bufferland. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative or thought-provoking, please like, comment, share and most importantly, subscribe to our channel not to miss our new videos. We also ask you to support Ukraine's defense forces using the QR code on your screen or the link in the description to the video. Take care of yourselves. Take care of Ukraine. Glory to Ukraine!